question comes across, will God's promise of rebuilding the temple ever be kept? Well, it's been a long time since the temple had been erected. Perhaps there is an entire generation that now has come forth. All they knew were Babylonian decrees and creeds, but they had a promise and they had a prophet. It's good to know that in times like these, my brothers and sisters, that God will send his word. Old men still dream dreams and young men still through impulses called synapses, and this is unequivocally God's doing. And he's present to Zechariah, and this is a teachable situation, and so we have to ask ourselves, but what is he seeing? This act that is not so horse could have stopped anywhere else, but the vision did not say that he was standing by a great old oak tree or nothing like that. Didn't say that he stopped by this big old redwood tree, but these are myrtle trees. Now, biblically, we have to understand that myrtle trees were a symbol of God's generosity, was a symbol of peace and as well as justice. Myrtle trees could grow up to 20 to 30 feet tall, but oftentimes in the Bible you'll find it was just simply a 4-foot tall tree. But the tree in this text is not the issue, my brothers and sisters. It's primarily where the tree has been positioned. It's a myrtle tree that has been placed and positioned down in a valley, in a ravine. I like what King James says, at the bottom. And the question God is asking us on tonight is, will you or can you grow in the valley? I wish I had somebody in here. For the trees to be growing in the valley, that's not a normal situation. But because it has grown in a valley, it means something. And there's somebody here tonight, I know that you've been going through some things and having some issues in your own life. Seems like you take 2 steps forward and 8 steps back. But I want to tell you on here tonight, there's a reason why God has you in that particular position. And if you have been able to thrive in horrific circumstances, that means something. It says that you have been able to take and pull from limited resources. Could you imagine these myrtle trees story? Growing in a valley. That had to be something, didn't it? Growing in the valley, they had to wait on proper nourishment in order to survive. Nothing came easy. The wind was precious. The sunlight was precious. The rain, it was precious. But I would imagine that these trees had some horrifying moments. Every morning when the sun rose, because these trees were in the valley, they were not able to kiss the sun until later on in the day. In the evening, they were not able to see, or they would probably had to kiss, or they were the last one to say goodbye to the sun. Even in the time when it rained sometimes, the rain will come and it would be probably nightmarish because these myrtle trees were here in the valley. But who knows how long the rain will fall. For being in the valley, flooding was imminent. Everything that was dead would wash down in the valley. When the rains came, the valley was a cesspool of everything that was dead. It was a final graveyard of dead vegetation, rotten carcasses, sun-dried skeletons, and even dry, rotten tree limbs. But it was here that these trees grew. With limited sunlight, extra rain, and mysterious fertilizer, they grew. And it's a gift to be able to push for more when less is so convenient. Many people lose hope because their conditions have become their concluding reality, but not these trees. But this is what this man riding on a red horse has been drawn to. Growing up in a valley, it takes guts, y'all. It takes fortitude. And anybody can grow on the mountaintop, that's easy. On the mountaintop, the trees get first dubs at the sunlight. On the mountaintop, the trees have the view of the storms beginning and where it ends. It's on the mountaintop, cool breeze of tomorrow's hopes came easy. But in the valley, you learn to appreciate all the mountain has to offer. People who have grown up on the mountain are out of touch with what life truly has to offer. The daily delay of resources, they don't know what it's about. The gift of tomorrow's uncertainties, they don't know it. The desire to do better, be better, and to grow better, they simply just don't know it. So it is that this man that's riding on a red horse is brought to this group of myrtle trees. trees in a ravine in the bottom. Zechariah has the desire to know what in the world is this, what is in me. But he has a group of myrtle trees before him, caravan of other horses behind him. So Zechariah is very inquisitive, just like you are tonight. He's saying, what are these? He's saying, I want to know. I'm seeing this man riding, and now you stopped him in this low place. What are you saying? What does this have to do with Israel's condition? We've been in exile now, and you're showing this man a ravine among myrtle trees. Now these hues of other horses are just behind him. What's up? What's going on? Anybody ever had questions for God? You ever had questions for him? You just want to know, Lord, what's going on? You brought me to this? What's up here? What's going on? Anybody ever want to know why the Lord, why you brought me to this point, this place and time? What are you trying to bring to pass? Lord God, what are you doing? And I've learned that when you question God, now he has the right to answer you. Well. And he reserves also the right not to answer. You remember a man by the name of Job? He had questions for God. He came back with questions of his own, didn't he? The Lord said, where were you? Where were you? When I laid the foundations of the earth. David had questions, didn't he? God didn't even give him an answer. He said, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? Read that psalm, you get no answer. And it's fortunate thing that in this case, the angels says, I will show you. I'll show you what these are. Next, the man that has been riding on this red horse, he says, these are they whom the Lord has sent to patrol the earth. Now, these other horses have been sent to patrol the earth. That means there is a journey that's involved. Now, Israel thought that coming out of exile would mean smooth sailing. But I'll say it like Harpo said on Color Purple, there's no such a thing. They were sent on a journey. The Bible says to and fro, which literally means that they were sent to patrol the earth. They were on a mission. Now, the fact that they were going to and fro on the earth tells us something. Because you see, if I take a trip from here, let's just say to Columbus, I can guarantee you I'm going to run into some hills. I'm going to run into some valleys. I'm going to run into some ditches. I'm going to run into some creeks and even some rivers. Because on the mission that God gives, there is always some type of obstacle, some type of interference, some type of defense. Just keep you from doing his will. It's always something. And at this particular time, it is the empire of Assyria. Some of us blame God like he doesn't know we have enemies. We cannot look at our enemies. He just told us to go to and fro. Some of you can't go to and fro because the enemy has your attention. When the enemy has your attention, you might go to, but you sure ain't going fro. You might go fro, but you sure can't go to. What was in the earth was there when God made it. But the mission was also there when God gave it. The mission does not change based off of minor matters. Hear me well today. The mission should be magnified. The conditions might be unfavorable, but God has given us favor, y'all. His favor, I'm here to tell you, is better than riches. And his mercy is better than money. And some of us, I had a conversation with somebody. And they were talking about how they had a hard time trying to get people to do things in the ministry. And I asked them, I said, man, if you think you having a hard time in a ministry, what you think the pastor going through? But we have to learn how to keep focused on the mission that God given us. And cannot be concerned about our enemy. But they found something. They found something while on their mission. What did they find while going to and fro on earth? Those that stood among the myrtle trees, they said, behold, all of the earth sit still, hand is at rest. Now, Syria being the major empire at this time, they looked to begin the way with so many things. look to be getting away with so many evil acts of oppression. The world we live in, we see now, it looks like our enemy is winning, doesn't it? Look like their enemy, look like they're trying to do so many things. They're getting away with so many hideous crimes known to man. Where we live in, our enemies look to be getting away when even it seems like it's open season on black males. Non-armed citizens' blood cry from the ground, and justice is only a dream. The enemy looks to be getting away. They tell us racism doesn't exist.
Lord have mercy.
Well, I'm here to tell you, somebody got some explaining to do. When an overwhelming percentage of black males are in jail that look like me, myself, and I, somebody has a whole lot of explaining to do. When education is subpar in our inner cities, please explain yourself. The question here we have to realize, and we ought to be glad about, that they found something here on their mission. And the earth is quiet and at rest here, and that's the problem. Silence can be easily translated as consent. The church got to raise its voice. Church must echo the injustice that Amos saw in his day. The church must preach the judgments of warning of God, who is no respecter of persons. The church must tell society that while you exalt yourself like an eagle, though you set your nest among the stars, the Lord will bring you down. I know now America's too high on herself. Look around and look at what's going on in North Korea. We think we all that. But I tell you, one day a time will come where we're no longer protected by two oceans. And the Lord, his day is coming near. It draws closer and no man knows the day nor the hour. Once again, let's keep looking at the scripture. Look here where these horsemen are reporting. They are reporting as an army to its general. Any soldiers in here? As a platoon to its captain. They haven't had it easy. Nothing has come with comfort, but they found it. They found it where? In the ravine. In the bottom. And I know some of us, we complain about where we are in life. There are some precious jewels that are found in the bottom. Some precious jewels are found in the ground. Some of the most precious resources of the earth are found in the ground. Don't you know it? Coal is found in the ground. Oil is found in the ground. Gold found in the ground. Diamonds are found in the ground. Even well water that grandmama used to drink from the well is found in the ground. Therefore, it's no coincidence that this legion of horsemen have been found stopping at a tree that has grown, thrived, and survived from the ground. There's something about coming up through hard knocks that has gospel implications. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Tell some of our young people there's nothing wrong with where you come from, just long as you learn something from where you come from. But there have been many who come up through hard knocks. But Joseph came up through hard knocks, being sold by his brother, made servant in Potiphar's house, even being placed in prison, then exalted to number 2 in all of Egypt. He came up through hard knocks. It was Moses who came up through hard knocks. From birth he was marked from death, raised in Pharaoh's house, driven out in the wilderness, kept the flocks of his father-in-law, and then promoted to be the leader in all of Egypt. But then we have David, who came up through hard knocks. For David being a shepherd boy on the back plains of Bethlehem, and he was a fugitive running from the wrath of Saul. But God had anointed him to be the king. But Job came up through hard knocks. For he lost everything that he had and everyone in one day. But God in the end gave him double for his trouble. It was even our Lord Jesus who came up through hard knocks. Born in a manger, raised in as a carpenter, he was exalted on a tree that was placed in a ground on a hill called Calvary. For Jesus came up through hard knocks. Have I got a witness? For it was there on that hill called Calvary. Calvary, it was so unfavorable. Calvary, it didn't look so good. Calvary, it didn't seem so good. But Calvary is where he died. Can I get a witness? And I learned tonight that when you endure as a good soldier, you will reap if you faint not. Can I get a witness? Because I saw where my Jesus reaped because he hung on in there. Can I get a witness? He hung in there and hung on the cross until he died. Can I get a witness? He died. Did he die? He died. But 3 days later, he rose again. Can I get a witness? And I'm here today just to tell you that your situation may not be the favorable situation that you want it to be, but God is going to raise you up out of that situation. Can I get a witness? Well, I've been there and I've been in places where God seemed like I thought God had forgotten about me. I've been in situations where I thought that it was all over. I've been in situations where I thought it was all over and there was no coming back. When I was down and out, but I see and saw how the Lord came and how he rescued me. I was there and down and out, but somehow he was able to reach down and pick me up. Can I get a witness? I'm just glad today that I wasn't on the outside of God's reach, and I want to encourage you, that you are not outside of the Master's reach. Can I get a witness? For I heard the songwriter say that I love the Lord. He heard my cry and pitied every groan. As long as I live and trouble rise, I'll hasten to his throne. It was amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. But now I see. I don't know about you, but I'm so glad that the Lord didn't give up on me when I was down in the last time. And say, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. And every step of the way, God has been with me. Every step of the way, he's been my anchor, and he's been my rock. He's been exile, temple in ruins, didn't know what to do. Syria looked like they were in charge. God said, I'm going to rescue them. I'm mad at them, but that's all right. I'm going to get them. God is telling us in these last and evil days, we have nothing to worry about. But y'all just make sure y'all going to and fro and staying focused on the mission. While God is rescuing us, we got to make sure we handle our business. So the conditions may be unfavorable. Certain laws being passed may be unfavorable. People dying in the streets for no reason may be unfavorable. But we got to stay focused. Got to stay focused. God bless you.